If you can gamify learning the fretboard, it's usually a much more enjoyable experience than agonizing over trying to remember where all the notes are. And this is something that I explained a long time ago, but it's such a powerful exercise that I thought I would revisit it and show it to the next generation of people here. And the best part is once you really get into this, it's kind of addicting, and you could really just, anytime you have free time, sit down and play this game and really learn the fretboard inside and out. A lot of us rely on tab or just memorizing or referencing other notes. You know, if you know one particular note, then you always go from there and try to figure out where you're at. But if you can look at the neck and instantly know where the notes are, it's a new level of freedom. And when you're improvising and playing, you don't have that tension of where am I? It's always, okay, it's lighting up for me now. Today I'm going to show you a condensed version of the game so you could do it on your own. On the website, though, I'm going to do the full thing where we explore every single note and do the variations. But I'm going to give you the idea of it today so you can get started. We're going to take a note and we're just going to find it on all 6 strings. We're going to involve the metronome pretty soon. That's kind of what gives it the gamifying feeling. But for right now, all I want you to do is understand that we're finding the C note on every single string. So if you can count up, that'd be great. If not, real quick review. We're just going to do natural notes today, no sharps or flats. So open E. First fret is F, so E and F are a half step apart. G is a whole step up above that. Then we start over the alphabet. A is a whole step above that. B is a whole step. C is a half step. So E and F and B and C are the half step apart notes. From C, we go up a whole step to D, and then a whole step brings us back to the octave E now. I know my guitar doesn't have double dots in front like a lot of guitarists do, but they're up and top here. There's a great side benefit to this game too, by the way. So in finding the C note, you notice we had to count up. That's kind of already pre-reviewing you with other notes that we're going to be doing later on. So it all works together in the end. All right, let's go to the 8th fret of the E string. That's going to be our C note right there. Now let's go to the 5th string, and we're going to find C there. So the string open is A. So the 2nd fret is B. The 3rd fret is C. So we already have 2 C's down. So if we go all the way back to the low string, we have the 8th fret. The next string, we have the 3rd fret. If we go to the 4th string, the D string, and count up, it takes a while, but we're going to go D. E is the 2nd fret. F is the 3rd fret. G is the 5th. A is the 7th. B is the 9th. C is the 10th. It's way up there. That makes sense, though, because if you go another whole step, you're at D, and that's the name of the open string. So there's your octave. So you're just a whole step behind the octave up here for the C. Let's go to the 3rd string. G, A, B, C. The next string is easy because it's the B string. So it's just a half step above that, which is the 1st fret. And then we're on to the final string here. We're going to go to the open E, and it's the same as the low string, so it's going to be 8th fret as well. Those are all 6 C's that we need to find today. We're going to go forward and backwards using a metronome eventually, but I don't want to do that at first because it freaks people out. Trust me, I've had plenty of students just kind of, lose it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to slowly find them again. But if you need to slow it down, you could use the slow down feature on YouTube or speed it up that way too if you need to. Okay, so on the 6th string, let's start off. Remember, it's 8th fret. The next string, 3rd fret. Next string, way up there at the 10th fret. Next, 5th fret. Your vision will start to happen now. You're going to have new fretboard vision. Next string, 1st fret. And the last string, back to the 8th fret. Now here's the trick. We have to go backwards too. So we just did this one. The next string, C. 1st fret. Next string, 5th fret. Next. Next. And last. If you could do that, you have the concept for the basic version of the game. I'm going to show you how to expand it too in this video. I'm just going to kind of talk you through it. So let's do this. Let's add the click and just see how we do at 70 beats per minute, finding the C's on every single string. Forward and back. Ready? Here Here we go. 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4. It's okay if there's a little bit of a gap. Let's go to the next string. You can use whatever finger. You really find out if your guitar is intonated by doing this game as well. And you know, it's kind of cool because even if you make a mistake, you'll hear it because it won't be the same as the previous note, which was hopefully correct. What we'll do on the website is we'll do all the G's next. We're just going to go around the circle of fifths, then all the D notes, then all the A, then all the E, and so on. But once you get through it, you'd be amazed at how every area of your playing will improve. Let's just take improvising, for example. Let's say you're playing in a song or to a backing track that goes like A7, D7, E7, like a typical 1-4-5. That kind of sound. Well, every time the chords switch, you're going to be able to switch with it because you're going to see the notes now. Here's what I mean. A very basic way to start improvising with this concept is, let's say the chord is A7. Well, you could just play the root notes if you want to because they'll all light up for you anywhere you are. So if you're in the middle of the neck, they'd be here, here, and here, for example. When the D chord comes, you'll just see D and D are right there. When the E hits, you'll see those light up as well. Because of this game that you're going to be playing, everything's just going to be shown for you now. You're not going to have to like excavate it anymore. It's just going to be there. Now, if you want to go one level beyond that for improvising, by the way, I'm doing a whole video on this too, this concept, but let's go ahead and go A, let's say in the middle of the strings, and I just want to add the flat 7 and go back. So that's a pretty common blues move right there. Well, that's just A to G to A. You're going to see the notes around it as well. So you have A here, we have G here, and that's because you're going to keep your eye on the main note because that's the chord that's being played. A. So watch this. You could go, but just come back to the A if you want. The next chord, D7, I'm going to go to the D, or this D. Do the same idea, walk it back to C. Whatever you want around that target tone. Let's go back to A. That time I messed around on both of those A notes right there. It's cool because they're just staring at me, begging me to play them. Okay, then we have the E, which shows up like this. And from here you can do all the same moves. Let's say go back to A. Usually what happens is, you know, we pick a scale that sounds good over all three of those chords, like the A minor pentatonic scale or even A major pentatonic, and we just, or A blues, and we just kind of go off like that. But it's really cool to be able to change with the chords, and you'll have a lot more confidence in doing that once you can see the notes themselves. It's not just going to be this big blob of notes that you could play. It's going to be actual specific target areas. Makes you way more musical too. To go beyond the game, once you learn it, it's really crazy all the different variations you could do. And one variation that my students both loved and hated, they loved it because it made them a lot better, but they hated it because it's so tough in the beginning, is to take the notes. Let's just start with A, for example. And you got to find the A on this string. The next string we would go B. So we would just go up the alphabet for fun. They'd have to find that. C on the next string. D on the next. E, F, on the way back G, A, B, C, D. It kind of messes with your head, but it forces you, you know, to be able to seek these things out quickly. But that's more advanced. We'll do a lot of that stuff on the website. But for today, if you could just start off with that idea of finding C on every single string and timing yourself and doing the metronome, speeding it up over time, pretty soon you'll just be able to just see where they are and find them right away. So when you're improvising over any kind of backing track, bam, you're going to be able to jump to it right away. And I know I made it sound simple. I know a lot of people who aren't really good at finding the notes on the neck are going to struggle just trying to like count up and find things. But this is all part of the journey. You know, you're going to find new ways of visualizing things. Maybe you're going to start to go from the octave, so the 12 of the open string, and go backwards. It's another great way to find notes. And once they're secure in your brain, they're there for life. Well, it helps to review them every once in a while, but it's kind of like riding a bike. So have fun with that game, and we'll see you at the website for all the other notes. We're going to be doing a lot of click work, and I'm going to be spending the next week getting all the videos up. So we'll see you there. Thanks. Bye-bye.